Hello, everybody.
Hi, Professor.
Great to see you again. Hello, Mansingh.
How are you? Very good afternoon.
Hello, Maria.
Hello, Professor.
Hello, Ekaterina.
Oh,
Hello, Gabriel.
Hello, Professor.
Yes, today, not many people are around. So this is the busy timing, right? So still you have a lot of subject, right?
Yeah,
That's why, isn't it? A lot of people are missing and then they must be busy. But yeah, we are recording this Zoom meeting. That's why reason they rely on this Zoom meeting rather than attending this real-time Zoom discussions. So everybody okay so far?
yeah,
That's great. That's great. So today I want to share our assignment 3 and block 3. Let me first share screen. Mm-hmm. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
That's great. So welcome to block 3. So this time we will focus on how to design of seawater desalination plant. So already we have experienced block 1 social technical system and advanced water and wastewater treatment design. And last one is the seawater desalination plant. So block 1, just briefly review. So we introduced the social technical system in water management and how we can try to frame the social technical system, how to a guide for engaging community, and water irrigation social system, and assignment 1 and assignment 2. We discuss about what's the water quality parameters, guideline types, water wastewater treatment technologies, guide to selection of water treatment process, and design conventional and advanced wastewater treatment plan. So we did assignment 2, which is the membrane bioreactor design and conventional wastewater treatment process. So today, block 3 is about how to design a seawater desalination plant. So we have to know what's the role of seawater desalination processes, key terminology used to describe the membrane process, what's the important water quality parameter for the design this seawater desalination plant. So reverse osmosis is very important. only seawater desalination plant, but also wastewater use, brackish water desalination for wastewater use, and how to design reverse osmosis. This is the key component of our assignment 3. So we will very much focus on this reverse osmosis, and we will design a desalination plant, let's say Sydney desalination plant, utilizing water application value engine. So Wave is the very useful software to design reverse osmosis. So we will utilize this free software. So let's look at the block 3. So how many people already look at the
I have a few questions up to video 3.
video
It's
3?
okay. Yeah, up to where it talks about passes and phases and
All right.
stages and stages.
Maria, can you discuss about passes and then stages after briefly cover this class, and then we can have a discussion together.
Okay.
Just in case some of them may not try to look at this canvas. So let me share the canvas. Can you see?
Yep.
Yes. So already you are very familiar with this canvas. So already you look at the leading material and videos. So I just tried to upload what's the efficient desalination by arrow. So you can have a very detailed information, a guide to arrow practice, also desalination of seawater from American Water Works Association, and then guide to selection, water treatment design challenges. So you have videos to look at the basic information of seawater desalination, and this is the Wave program. So everybody already tried to install this program? That's great. So just follow this guideline and user manual and installation process. Also, this is video. You can follow my video, install this software, and then how to utilize this arrow design process. Also, I uploaded two exemplify for the Wave, and then this is very simple one, and a little bit complicated example. So you can just try it, and you will have a better idea how to design your seawater desalination plan. So we have 5 videos. So this is lectures. So first one is what's the roles of seawater desalination processes, and second one is what's the key terminology for your desalination plan design and water quality parameters. And then lecture 3 is about what's the reverse osmosis, and lecture 4 is how to design manually your reverse osmosis plan for seawater desalination. And last one is the example of Wave installation and training lecture video. So everything is available here, and just the simple tutorial questions are available in this part, and assignment example. So before you start your assignment, so you can open this file, and then you can see the one of example, which is the very good kind of design of seawater desalination. So you have a better idea how to approach to your seawater desalination. So that's all about the block 3. And let's go back to our slide again. Can you see slide?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so after you study all the videos and lecture notes, and you can try your assignment 3. So due date is 21st June, so next Sunday. So you have 2 weeks. So it's a very tight schedule, so you can start as soon as possible. So your abstract for executive summary, around 200 to 250 words, and background. So this is basically from your scenario. So discuss the importance and related issues of desalination for future water security in Australia. And third question is about how to design desalination plan. So briefly mention about your process flow diagram using RO process, pre-treatment and post-treatment, and detailed design of the RO process. So you can utilize the Wave software to design how many number of banks, stages, vessels, element, recovery, and the membrane. So you can utilize this software. Also, you should clearly discuss what you have done to optimize the auto process design. How do you ensure that you have satisfied the bottom limit of 0.3 per liter, and provide a literature review on the impact of the brine disposal on cuttlefish. Also, shutdown plan and restart. So when you have enough rainfall, so we have enough water resource in dam. So how to shut down your seawater desalination plant and how to restart. So you can see the slide, lecture slide already. I briefly mentioned about when is the trigger point to shut down your desalination plant and when is the restarting plan for your desalination plant depending on dam level. And conclusion, recommendation, and reference, so you can finish your seawater desalination plan. Also, when you do your assignment, so this is already given in the scenario. You can see how many plants we have in desalination, and then capacity. So we can design 250,000 cubic meter per day. But you don't have to worry about expansion. Just make empty space, which you require for your pre-treatment, RO, and post-treatment. So this is just the space, but you can design 250 cubic meter per day. And this is your basic parameters: temperature, salinity, and energy consumption, and 20 years of your desalination lifetime. Also, in the scenario, you can find out what's the water quality in your desalination plant design. So you can just enter your basic water parameters and try your software. And this is the also example. So you can follow this flow diagram. And you don't have to follow exactly the same procedures. You can change the pretreatment using ultrafiltration. This is the dual media filter, but you can try to change based on your convenience and based on your easy to design your own desalination plant. So this is just one example, but you can change any pre-treatment, post-treatment. However, arrow should be same in your assignment 3. So this is all about block 3, and then you can start your assignment after reading all the reading materials and then lecture videos. So how do you feel? This is the much easier than assignment 1 and 2.
I think some stuff is quite like related to assignment 2. So like it will be helpful, like because like RO procedure and some stuff, other stuff we have already studied in assignment 2. So I think it will be really helpful for me. I don't know about other guys.
How about the students?
It's going to take a while we try to figure out how to work with WAVE. Like the inputs, where do we have to do it and run the system.
That's true. That's why reason I gave you 2 example files. So you can try to see first 2 example files and then just run the program and how to change based on your given water quality parameters. Also, it's up to you. You can make a simplify, just a TDS rather than very detailed individual ions, just to make total amount of total dissolved solid, and you can design much easy way. So in this assignment 3, I'm just to want to look at how you are how you understand this software, and then how can utilize, and then just experience rather than too many detailed software design parameters, because yeah, it takes a lot of time. Just I want to show you a brief way of approach rather than all the detailed program handlings. So just try the way of you understand, and then how you can people try to design using this kind of software. So if you work in a consultant company, so also they utilize the similar software. So first look at the wastewater use plan, RO, and the seawater desalination. What's the capacity? What's the rough capital cost, operating cost? So this software will give you very rough estimation. So if you work in a consulting company, so they utilize a similar and same software, so that you will have a better experience to approach how to design water treatment processes. So you have a question, Maria, for the past and then your...
Yes, Professor.
Yeah.
The thing is, I'm not sure what's the difference. I understand that stage is like passing through a lot of modules. And is it differently? Maybe stage is only for retentate and pass only for permate?
All right. So let me show you. I explained this one in the lecture 3C. Let me show you exactly. Can you see this slide?
Yes, yes.
Yes. So as you mentioned, so you're clear about stages and then pass. First pass, second pass. So we have a membrane pressure vessels, and then water is flowing and then pass through the outer membrane. So this blue color just permeate. So this permeate, still we have a high concentration of boron and bromide or total dissolved solid. So you need to reduce some more TDS, boron, and bromide. So we can go through another arrow. So this is the second pass. So first pass collected, and then go through another arrow, and then we call second pass of your membrane system design. So if you look at the assignment, so when you remove the boron, in seawater, we have around 5 milligram per liter. So after arrow first pass, because boron is the neutral ions, so very difficult to remove by this arrow. So after arrow, so boron removal is less than 50%. So still you have 2 milligram per liter or 3 milligram per liter of boron concentration. So go through another second pass, and then boron concentration will be less than 0.2 milligram per liter after second pass. So depending on your water quality, we can design your second pass of RO system.
And for example, it would be bad to say that even the retentate can go through second pass. If I don't need high quality water, it will be okay, or the passing are just for permate.
Okay, so retentate, it's a different terminology.
Okay.
Yeah, this one, stage 1, stage 2. So you remember the pass is the blue line. Yeah.
Okay.
So they collect and then goes to the next arrow. But retentate, red line. So you have a very high concentration after arrow, stage 1. And then you need to recover more water. In this case, you can collect your second stage. So retentate, let's say 35,000 milligram per liter of seawater, pass through the stage 1, and then you have around 60,000 milligram per liter. Still your recovery is around 40%. So you want to increase your recovery, and then you can go second stage, and 60 milligram per liter concentration go to the next arrow, retentate, and then this will have around 70 milligram per liter, which means 50% of recovery of your RO process. That's why reason when you increase your water recovery, so we can utilize the stage 2, and this will give a better water recovery. So second pass is about your permeate quality will be improved by second pass. Second stage, stage 2.
Amount of recovery.
Yes, exactly. So that's the difference we design. So if you look at the, let me show you our software. Can you see this wave program? Can you see?
Yes, I can.
All right. So if you just click this one, so we have a first pass, second pass. So when you design, depending on your water quality, let's say our boron concentration, so it takes time to calculating all your design parameters. So let's say first pass, this is first pass, and then boron concentration influent was 5 milligram per liter, but still after first pass, the boron concentration is permeate is 1.24 milligram per liter. So we need to go through a second pass. So second pass, your initial concentration from first pass 1.24, and then final concentration will be lower than 0.26 milligram per liter, which is the meeting your water standard. So we designed the second pass. So if you see this first pass goes to the second pass, and then when you recover your stage, so you can select stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4. So depending on your recovery, so you can design how much you can increase your stage, and then this will affect overall your recovery system. So you can change the stage from here, and then the first pass, second pass from this part.
So for our case, it doesn't matter how many passes or stages, we're not going to be constrained about energy requirements, just the stringent boron limit.
In fact, this matters because if you increase more pass, more stage, so you need more capital cost. Also, you need more energy cost. So this is not effective your RO system configuration. So we recommend maximum 2 stages, maximum 2 pass. So that's the very typical way of design rather than 3 stage, 4 stage, 5 stage. It's unrealistic unless otherwise you have a very extraordinary reason. So make sure maximum second stage, maximum second pass in your assignment 3, which is the very typical way of seawater desalination plant design.
Okay. And one more question, if you care to give us some more detail about the split partial single pass. It's
All right.
also on the 3C.
Okay. Yes, you're right. That's very good questions. This one, right? Just a second, let me share the slide.
Yes, that one.
Yes. So this is another new skills, because seawater desalination is energy intensive. So how to reduce the energy is the very important target. So this is one of tactics: split, partial, single pass. So you have feed water and pressure vessel and different elements. And what happens is that you have very high concentration of your salt at the end of your element. That's the one of reason we need to use second pass or second stage. So what happens is that people try to completely block. So we just say split in this element or here last two element, and the permeate is high concentration because the feed water concentration is keep increasing, and then you have a high concentration of permeate, and then this high concentration we don't want to mix with the final product in the permeate. So we separate, and then this is a relatively clean permeate. So we just collect from here, here, and then we collect your permeate, which will satisfy your final water quality standard. At the same time, you completely plug your permeate at the end of element, and then this was relatively high concentration and do not mix with this permeate and go back to your feed water, which means your feed water TDS will be lower and your osmotic pressure will be lower, and then this will keep circulating this way, and you can think about you have a high purity of water in the permeate because your high concentration of permeate with the completely separate and mixed with the feed side. At the same time, you will have a low energy, low cost, because energy you have a diluted of your TDS concentration of seawater, and then you have a low osmotic pressure. That's the reason why you have a low energy cost. Also, you reduce your second pass, so you don't need the second pass capital cost, so that you can reduce your also energy and capital, so you can reduce the overall 0.4 kilowatt hour per cubic meter. So that's the very advanced technology. So we just say split partial single pass. So most of
so that works almost like a recycle, like a bypass, a continuous bypass of the permeate to the feed.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly, because you can dilute your feed TDS, seawater. At the same time, your permeate will be lower because you don't mix with the last element, which has a very high concentration of overall permeate. So you don't need the second pass. So that most of desalination plant in Australia, so they utilize this split partial single pass or two-pass system. However, this is the very new technology, so that you don't have to design from your software, because it will make very difficult auto configuration at the beginner level. How you can try with a very simple example. So this is the little bit advanced skill set you need to design your software.
And what do you mean? Because I'm saying, of course, advanced split partial single pass. So advanced would be what they do. They do something besides the permate and they work with the brine, or what does it mean that it's advanced in, for example, in Adelaide?
All right. Advanced mean, yeah, just name is same as SPSP, which already we discussed.
For example, that it increases recovery, or that increases?
I think this one saved energy, so we just call
It's about energy.
Yes, advanced SPSP process. So in your assignment, yeah, you can try to design this way, but I'm sure that it doesn't require for your assignment to design this SPSP system, because this will be more complicated for your auto desalination. Also, internally staged design. If you look at the wave software, so there is option. You can select your internally staged design to change your element from in your pressure vessel. Also, this one will make a very big difference. So you can just simplify, select one membrane element, and then design your assignment 3, rather than IST application. If you can try, yes, that's fine. You can try, but just make a simple. This is concept, so I recommend just to understand overall concept of the web software design, rather than implement ISD and then SPSF, SP process in your software, because this will give a lot of design warnings for you.
Okay. And my last question so far, it's about the first stages when you're designing the intake. Why don't isn't it common to use like screens so fish don't get into the intake?
All right. So you're talking about first my lecture notes,
yes,
right?
A. Yes, for A.
Just let me share the screen. That's why everybody will understand much better. You are talking about this one, right?
Yes. Yes, in there.
So I didn't include the drum screening here. So yes, you are correct. Drum screening supposed to be here. because drum screening is like a very simple way of water flow. So you don't have to design very seriously, just to put the kind of a screen in your water feed, so that I didn't include the drum screening in front of your chlorination. But yes, you're correct. You can put the drum screening. There are several different size and different screening types. So you can mention about, first we can incorporate drum screening and then remove fish, remove some seaweed, and then some large particle. So that's correct. You can incorporate in your assignment 3.
And the last one, is there any way to recover some of the minerals that we are taking out of with brine? For example, since we have to put some fluoride and maybe something else in the product water, is there any way to recover some of that from our residue, from our brackish, our brine?
That's very good questions, which is relevant to our assignment. I just want to show you again. Yeah, this is the water quality in seawater. So you mentioned about fluoride, right?
Yes.
So that's the misunderstanding with people. So chloride. So if you look at the chloride, it doesn't mean chlorine. So we have active chlorine, active chloride, but we have inactive chloride. So most of them are inactive, as well as fluoride. Fluoride, you have active fluoride. Not every fluoride is active. So which means they don't have much function of this resource recovery, because fluoride is just ions, not the active fluoride compounds, same as fluoride. So in fact, you don't have to recover fluoride, but as you mentioned, we can possibly recover calcium, magnesium, potassium. They are all nutrients, right? And then some of compounds, iron, it's also useful minerals, and then lithium. In seawater also we have a lithium compound, which is the battery material. Yeah. So that's true. That's the next stage of people's research investigation. So as you think, there are many minerals. So if we recover some of them, which is useful, and this will add some value for seawater desalination. So a lot of people are working on this kind of research area. But at this stage, seawater desalination is very expensive, and then this mineral recovery is still very expensive process. So nobody recover any mineral at this stage. But in the future, maybe 10 years, maybe 20 years later, I'm sure that, as you mentioned, we can recover some of useful material from RO brine. So that's the one of the your assignment you can incorporate in your recommendation and conclusions. So in the future, how we can add value in a desalination plant, you can mention about how we can recover useful minerals, useful metals, useful compounds, and this will create the more sustainable resource in the world. So that will be a good point.
And finally, do all desalination plants or raw plants have have renewable energy integration? Because if, for example, the one in Sydney is in standby, but it continues to produce energy through their wind farms. So that energy is still used in the plant, although it's in standby, or that is delivered to the grid.
That's very good questions. So as I mentioned, every desalination plant in Australia has a renewable certificate using wind farm. And now is a Sydney desalination plant. If they standby, they don't have to use energy. In this case, they are selling the energy to the city. So you have a lot of energy company. So they have those contract. If they don't supply energy to the desalination plant, this can sell to the just city or local usage of the energy, and then they can get some energy benefit from renewable energy rather than coal energy from New South Wales and Sydney. So that's the way they have some other strategy to supply energy to the city and then provide cost-effective and energy environmental friendly energy. So there are options. You don't have to stop the wind farm. This will go to the city.
And what is actually happening in standby? I'm not sure. Do they really stop their pumping, or is just like a minimum flow passing through the pumps and they discharge it, like with brine?
They completely stop.
Oh, okay.
So you remember that we operate for the first time Sydney desalination plant January 2009, and then this is completely stopped after 2-year operation, and nobody predict when this dam level will decrease to 70% and 60%, so that they cannot maintain the seawater desalination plant because you need people's personal, and then you need those minimum operation cost, chemical cost, so that they completely shut down, remove membrane, stop the pumps, and then utilize all the chemical, and then completely shut down. And that's the standby mode.
And that is why it takes so many months to restart and to shut down.
You're right.
Until you okay.
It takes 8 months because you need to clean up all the pipeline, you need to clean up the pumps, chemical, membrane, installation. So it's almost starting again. So that it takes around 6 to 8 months to restart your seawater desalination plant.
Okay. So it's not easy as, okay, next month we're going to need a large volume. It just takes some planning.
Excuse me?
It's not about an immediate discharge. It's just that whenever they are seeing that the dams are getting low level, that's when they start. They
Right.
have to commission for it.
Yeah, right. Also, as I mentioned, first day of this subject, do you remember that Sydney desalination plant, it was owned by Sydney Water. And then after 2 year operation, they realized that, okay, it's better to sell this plant. And then the Canadian superannuation, they purchased the seawater desalination plant with around $2.13 billion. At the time, they had also a contract after they start operate, so how much they have to pay, and then how much they have to pay for the keeping the maintenance of very basic desalination plant. Also, they believed after 20 years, the Sydney population grow, also industry keep growing, so that we need more water. So at the time, we don't have to worry about dam level of your drought, because a lot of people will utilize the water, so that after 12, several decades, they believe this Sydney desalination plant will be fully operatable. That's the reason why, even though now we are standby because dam level and then raining season and then drought season. However, several decades later, they believe this will be fully operational.
Okay, on the long run.
Exactly.
Okay, Professor, that's for me.
That's a good question. Maria, you study a lot for the different slides already.
No, it's just that enough time. Enough time. We had
That's
enough
good.
time. Yes.
So you can start now your assignment 3, right?
I'm trying to work with Wave. Took me a while for the computer. Yeah.
It's fun. It's fun. You can try, and then there are many functions. You will expand your knowledge and skills to design not only arrow. After this assignment 3, you can try ultrafiltration, ion exchange resin. So there are many high skills you can improve from this free software.
Yes, if we had seen this in the second block, maybe we would have tried maybe to work something with nanofiltration with Malabar.
That's the good suggestion. We can change our subject outline maybe next year based on your comment.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions from others?
Yeah, Professor. I have only one question. Like, in shutdown and restart plan of desalination plant, like we have to mention when dam level rise, the desalination plant need to be shut down. Provide a shutdown operation restarting plan of the so like should we have to mention via diagram calculations or theoretically?
Okay, this one I expected just brief description rather than too many detail, because what I gave you in the slide is 60%, 70% also start operate and preparation. Also, when you have more than 70% and you stop your desalination plan and go for the standby mode. So that's the several sentence you can mention about it. But if you want to make a more detailed calculation, so I included the website, so you can go there, and then there are many strategies, and then many different way of shutdown and then restart strategy, because this scenario will be a very complicated situation. It's not simple, so that you can see this kind of detailed information. But in the assignment, Yeah, you can make a simplify because main target is not the detail, just making sure you have a basic concept how to prepare shutdown and restart. That's the modern,
Yeah, got it.
Otherwise, it will be a very big report in your assignment 3.
Thank you, Professor.
Any other questions from other students?
I think we are done.
So everybody clear, right? This is very great. So yeah, you can start your assignment 3, and then we will organize another Zoom meeting next week before your due date of the assignment 3. So you will ask me more detail and some design or some other related assignment question, right?
Yeah.
So I will see you. So what time is
1 o'clock.
suitable next week?
Next
Or
week.
somebody
I'm okay with any time.
anytime is okay. So anybody?
Yes, because we were supposed to finish classes this
Right.
week, I think.
So when exactly you finish every assignment and then every semester, this semester?
I have like my last exam on 24.
24, okay.
Yeah, and like next one assignment due is on 11th, another assignment due on 14, another is video presentation for sustainable energy on 17, then this one is 21, then 24 exam.
All right. Okay, so if we agree.
Yes, next Tuesday, maybe after lunch at 1 would be okay.
1
I don't know
o'clock.
for
Okay.
the rest of
How about anybody?
our.
Yeah, I think that's
Tuesday,
good.
1 o'clock. Next week, Tuesday, 1 o'clock. Everybody okay?
Yeah, good.
Gabriel and Constance and Ekaterina, you are very quiet.
Yeah, I'm okay with next Tuesday at 1.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
All right. So next week, 1 p.m. Tuesday. So I will organize another Zoom meeting and then have a more professional discussion together.
Thank you, Professor.
Thank you, everybody, and then good luck for your assignment and see you next week.
Bye.
See ya, bye.
Bye.
Thank you.